talk about an incredible program they have and an opportunity for those that want to build their business and funds are involved. Which, anytime you're involved in business, if you don't have enough money, it'll get you off the ground, right? Won't get you off the ground. So, Patty, here you go.
So today I want to talk to you about a competition. Now, a competition might not sound too exciting to any of you, but I would imagine that most of you already have everything that you need to enter the competition, so it's not going to be a heavy lift for you, but I want to tell you a few things about why you should do this. McCloskey New Venture Competition is a competition that's been around. This is our 23rd year. We have a wonderful alumni donor that has sponsored this competition for many, many, many years. Traditionally, the competition was open only to students, primarily business students. And as we have evolved and as we have seen the needs of businesses growing, we have expanded. One of the areas that we have expanded to is our community. And I'll talk and I forget what points I have on my slide. So, why McCloskey? So, if you don't have a pitch deck, you are going to need that. At any time that you want to find more funding for your business, you need that pitch deck. You need something that you have the ability to get in front of investors and say, this is my business, this is the why, this is what is going to impact this community. So we can help you with that, we can help you fine tune that. Help with team formation. Every community venture that enters McCloskey has to integrate a current Notre Dame student as a part of their team. One, we help facilitate that matching. Two, this student has raised their hand and says, hey, I want to be a part of something. I don't have my own ideal right now, but I want to learn through the process of helping another startup. So these students have marketing experience, they have computer science, they have financial opportunities to help you with. And so think about as you're deciding that you're going to enter this competition, that, you know, what part of my team don't I have everything together for? And that's the kind of student that you're going to want to request. Access to our database. So I have a pool of over 400 judges and mentors. Well, I'd say 400 judges and then about 800 mentors. These are all Notre Dame affiliated alumni. Somebody that has, they might not all be alumni, we might found them through our networking processes. But through the stage of the competition, you actually get to apply for a mentor and say, hey, I have a need in this area. Could you help me with this? And we also help facilitate finding you a mentor. That is part of the competition. The experience presenting. So if you've never pitched your idea to anybody, we're going to help you with that. Your student is going to be one of the key things to helping you in that presentation because that's what they're learning in school, right? So these are the kind of things that we can help you with. And then this is the last bonus, is the prize money, right? So there is a $50,000 grand prize for McCloskey that can be won by a student, an alumni, or a community venture. I've seen it happen in all three different ways over the 23 years. There is currently a $5,000 prize that is just for community ventures. I am continually fundraising, trying to raise that amount up. So it could be much higher by the time the end of the competition gets here. The competition itself. Oh, and one other thing that I think will be beneficial to you is there is a prize for opportunity to pitch for investment. So we have for the best Hispanic-led venture an opportunity to pitch for funding. That funding goes up to $50,000. We have an opportunity to pitch to our community Elevate Ventures, who is a funding company here who are looking for ventures who are launching and staying here in Indiana. There's a $25,000 opportunity to pitch. So there's a lot of ways to get your idea in front of people. Let me talk to you a little bit about the process. So the first round, so think of it as a competition, but the first round is due October 25th. That is a presentation deck and a 3-minute video. 2-minute video? 3-minute video. Always forget if I added more minutes to that. The presentation deck is really What is the problem that you're trying to solve? Who are you solving it for? Tell us your why, right? Tell us how, if you haven't started to make money, tell us how you plan on making money. So this is your very high level presentation deck. You don't get deep in financials or anything like that. And we have for you a model to follow. So we have a Google slide deck that says, this is what you need here. This is what you need here. So stuff to really walk you through that. Your supporting video is just you telling us your why. Like, get the judges excited about why you're doing this. Tell us what the impact is going to be in your community if you have this, you know, if you get more funding, if you launch this. That's due October 25th. Should you make it through round one, what happens with that? So it goes to a panel of judges. You'll have anywhere between 6 and 14 judges looking at your submission. You never see the scores. What you do is you get feedback on every single point. So we said, hey, slide deck 1, you're telling us your problem. Slide deck 3, you're telling us about your marketing plan. You're going to get feedback on every one of those components that the judges are evaluating you on. We do that because we think the feedback is so valuable that the judges are required to give that to you. So regardless if you win any money, if you do anything, that even that first round is so important because you can take or leave that feedback, right? But it's all these different people's opinions and thoughts that you're like, well, I never really thought about that. And it's just very, very useful. If I've asked anybody who's participated in the competition, they say that feedback has been their number one advantage to doing it. So should you make it through round 1, that is the point where you're asking for what kind of student you need, and you're asking if you want a mentor, you're applying for that mentor. So round 1, you don't have to enter with the student, but if you make it past round 1, then that's when we help do that. Round 2 is the pitch deck. So your actual deck where we're talking about your financials. How are you going to make money? What does your business model look like? You get a 5-minute video that goes with this. This is all submitted virtually through the computer. We have a platform. I'm sorry, my mouth is getting dry. Get some. What, hon? It's right there. I have that video on it. So round 2 is due February 17th. So after that round 1 submission, you have a lot of time to tweak, pivot, work with your student to get ready for round 2. Round 2, February 17th, the pitch deck and the presentation video. Once you get through round 2, again, you're getting another whole set of feedback. Sometimes it's the same judge, sometimes it's different judges. So same judges love to see if you've taken their ideas and moved on them. New judges are looking at it for the first time. Semi-final round. So we'll see anywhere between 200 and 150 submissions in McCloskey. We'd love to see that number grow. The competition usually, unless your plan is good, everybody makes it through round 1 because it's actually an educational experience for you. We want you to have the opportunity to take that next step. So we really don't take too many teams out of round 1. Round 2, when we get done with that, we're narrowing that down to 30 semifinalists. The 30 semifinalists are competing live in April at what is called Idea Week. Idea Week is a huge event where we have the entire week dedicated to innovation and entrepreneurship. We have speakers, we have a concert, we have all of these things going on, and the ending part of Idea Week is the McCloskey competition. April 20th, I believe, is the date for the semifinal round. You're pitching your pitch, so you're just tweaking as you go along. So you're not having to create new things. You're just actually tweaking your presentation, your pitch deck as you're going along. Round 3, you're pitching to judges live. You actually get a feedback Q&A session during that time, and then they narrow that down to 5 semifinalists. The five finalists then then present the next day live in front of the public. So we have anywhere between 700 to 500 people who come to that event and listen to the presentations. I haven't secured all the judges yet, but we call them high-profile judges. One year we had Dana Johnson. It was really cool. But they will give you feedback, question and answer, then that is what determines the grand prize winner. Every other prize that we have is determined from the semifinal finalists. So if you don't make it to the finals, there's still all of these opportunities for you to win prizes, and you find out on that Friday of Idea Week. That was a lot of information. I will answer any questions after. I talked about your timeline here. Common questions. How do I help you find students? You as we call it team leader, will say, hey, I need a student that can do this. Just basically you tell us that in a Google form. Similarly, our students are saying, hey, my name is Johnny, I have marketing experience, I have finance experience, blah, blah, blah. We go behind the scenes, we find what we think is a great match. We reach out to the student first. We say, we have a venture that's doing this. They're looking for a student who can do this. Are you interested in a connection? If they say yes, we make the connection to you. So you won't have students just reaching out to you willy-nilly. It's just us doing that. If the student works, great. If it doesn't, you come back to us and say, hey, this wasn't really what we needed. Student is there for the experience. There's no expectation that you give any, if you win prize money, you give any to the student. There's no expectation that you hire the student and keep them on your business, but I've seen that happen many, many times because it's just been a great match and opportunity for both. An event that's coming up next weekend, September 24th, is called Problems That Matter. Problems that matter is you come with the problem that your business is trying to solve, right? So most of you are already in deep into what you're doing, but back it up. What problem are you actually trying to solve with your business? When you take that step back and you really think about that, you find things that you can poke holes in. Maybe somebody else is trying to solve that problem. Is it a real problem? How do you define whether it is a real problem? We are doing some design thinking, so this is like a 10-hour sprint event. So you come with the problem. Well, there'll be lots of students with that same different problems, but also students who are just coming to listen. And they will stay and be on your team to work through the process. There is a $1,000 prize for this, so you're doing a problem pitch deck. That's what the 10-hour you'll come out of, a problem pitch deck. Am I doing okay on time? Come on, let's go. We'll do some more, and I'll get into a lot of this stuff, right, for people that are interested. Like if you're like, oh, well, I love this, I would love to schedule something, we can either do a Zoom meeting and I can just go through the whole pitch and spiel and exactly everything that you need. I talked a little bit about that. If you're ever questioning whether you are ready for the competition, I am happy to take those kind of conversations. That's what I do all day long is encourage people like, hey, yes, you're ready, you got what you need. And the last question, do judges and mentors sign NDAs? They do not. We get that question a lot from outside of the Notre Dame community. We at Notre Dame, we consider ourselves very ethically high on the scale. In my 20 years of doing this, I have never had an issue with a judge or a mentor stealing somebody's idea. We don't make them sign NDAs. We will, if any of our students that are coming, they have signed NDAs. So don't be feared of students running off with their idea either. I'm going to stop here because the rest of it just talks about the pitch decks and everything, but
okay. Anybody have any questions?